All right, Jesse on Fire, welcome back. So we got a new show and we got more information. We have now the CIA just coming out and being like, yeah, no way that Tyler Robinson did this by himself. It's like, really? It's like, yeah, sorry. Can't have happened. So we're going to react to that video. And we also have Ian Carroll and Nate from Valhalla VFT, and another gentleman. I'm not familiar with his channel, but they're talking about the bizarre lack of blood in the post, like that, in the immediate aftermath of Charlie being shot. And I also want to show you a video to start this thing out that Project Constitution put up on X that is so weird, okay, where someone is talking about exactly what happened immediately following Charlie being shot, because I hate saying this. I hate even saying this out loud, but I am still having a hard time with the behavior of the people around it, to the point where I'm like, did Charlie just pull off like the ultimate, like did he fake it? Like, is this fake? Because the guy at the hospital says he saw someone get out of one of the SUVs, get into an SUV being driven by Mike McCoy, and then shoot off down the road. Okay. Yes, I realize this is coming the day after I am basically just openly being like, yeah, I think Lance did it. I do think Lance did it. You're also entertaining that Charlie might be alive. I don't know what to make of any of this. Okay. I'm looking at a bunch of inhuman emotional reactions to things, and simultaneously I'm looking at a stupid story with a bunch of, radical trans people who look like they're also guilty. I don't know what is going on. Okay. So don't break my balls, but we're going to get right into that right now. All right. So we're going to start right there. So this is Project Constitution. You can't see there you go. Project Constitution. Okay. Buddy of mine, he shares my content all the time. And I wanted to show you, this is a clip of a witness who saw the aftermath at the actual hospital, and we're going to look at it right now, and I'll tell you where I think this is weird. Also, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I don't know where I got that from. That sounds exactly like something that I heard somewhere with but I don't know. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, and like this video. Okay. We're doing the Lord's work over here. We are trying to be objective in a world of people incentivized by non-objective behavior. So let's watch this. I'm going to skip to the part that actually matters.
So they head north, the first one. And they pull in right over here where it says ambulance. Right here. Then they go around over here to the front where it says surgery. And then I was parked right here.
Okay, so this guy is he's a parking enforcement person. That's why he's there. I'm going to fast forward you to where, okay, so he comes back around here and he's saying that there was another SUV that came in that, well, I'm sure you'll hear him say it, but he's saying Mike McCoy was driving it.
The other SUV comes right here, passes me, looks just like Mikey McCoy. I know what Mikey McCoy now looks like. That's why I put two and two together. And then they go this way. The SUV goes this way. That SUV was down there by the physician's parking where you can't go in, and it parked right to the side of that building. And then that's when someone came out and got in. Then they left right here, pull out, and they head south to 800 North.
So my question is just think about that situation, right? Charlie gets shot, okay? They pick him up, whatever. Somehow they get him into the car. They drive him to the hospital. Mike McCoy is driving another SUV, and when he gets to the hospital, someone jumps into his SUV, and they drive away. Somebody come up with a scenario where that makes sense, okay? Because there's only one that I can think of, and it would be that it was Charlie who jumped into the car. I mean, I'm not saying that that's actually what happened. I'm just saying this shit's weird, okay? Because watch this, okay? Let's watch another thing that just is like, what am I even looking at, dude?
On my phone, and I see the video come in of him flinging out the hats. And I said, Mom, look, it started. So we saw the hats being flung. I put my phone down and it was on silent, so I had no reason to look back at it. I moved my mom. I went back to grab my phone, and that's when Mikey started calling me. He called me within seconds.
I called Erica. I just remember it rang like 3 or 4 times. I didn't know what to say.
Right out of the gate. My wife was watching this over my shoulder. She's all, who's that guy? Because that guy's lying about whatever he's saying. She's like, that's liar energy. She's like, that's probably why they cut away from his face. And I was like, this is Charlie Kirk's chief of staff. And I agree.
Say, those are the words that will change someone's life forever, and you have to be the one to say it. That was the first time I've ever called her during a campus tour stop.
And so Mikey called me, and I'll never forget him just being like, Charlie's been shot. He's been shot. Get the kids. Get security. Get the kids. Get the kids. He's been shot. I sprinted out of her treatment center. Just collapsed in the middle of the parking lot.
Like, do you understand how good of an actor you have to be able to fake as if you actually went through an experience like having your best friend killed or your husband and father of your children killed? And so these performances are what are so hard for me. I'm like, what am I looking at? This is all wrong. Anyway, though, let's go ahead and move over to here. Okay, now, actually, no, let's watch this first. So we're going to watch Valhalla and Ian talk about the weirdness and the lack of blood. And then we're going to watch the CIA talk about how they don't believe the official story either.
And so an artery in the neck, like, you're digging in there immediately to try to close that off.
There's gauze in there. Get pressure on that. And there's
100%.
none of that.
There's none of that going on.
But this is where it gets even
and
weirder.
then you see this, which is the after.
Yeah, this is crazy. Yeah.
And if we look at this,
that's right here. There's like no blood anywhere there.
guys, there's a tiny little bit of blood on the table where he was sitting at. Right? We see that there. There's no blood on the grass. There's no blood anywhere. Like, Alex, I mean, with gunshot wounds, not even ones that aren't arterial. We're talking about an arterial gunshot wound. There's just no blood.
I mean,
he got shot.
I've seen more blood from someone losing half a foot. No joke. I've seen more blood from someone hitting a booby trap, losing half a foot. So
no.
So I'm purposefully playing these guys' video right now instead of just analyzing this myself, because this dude is like one of the best expert testimonies you could possibly get. Sticky Green Beret, a combat medic that has seen combat, that has treated gunshot wounds in all sorts of permutations with his own experience and stories to share about it. That is a very valuable expert opinion here. And what he's saying about the amount of blood you would get from arterial bleed like this is no joke. You would get a shitload of blood from an arterial bleed like this in the neck while they're trying to treat it there on the grass before they carry him out. And I mean, they theorize on this too, and it's obvious to start thinking about what video did Candace Owens see from that camera from the back, right? Because if somehow they were all over Charlie's body, ostensibly treating his wounds for a solid like 10, 20 seconds, and none of them got blood on their hands, and there doesn't appear to be that much blood on the scene behind there, like there's no blood from if this was an entry wound in the front, there's no blood spray onto the back wall behind him. I don't really know what to make of any of that. I mean, it sort of obviously like starts to make you think about full conspiratorial, like it didn't even happen kind of conspiracies, which is a whole other level of questions to ask. And that's not what I'm necessarily implying.
I think I am at this point, at least implying that might be what's going on, because I don't know what else to, like, I don't know. I mean, I'm not like, I don't believe that it's not real. But like when you take these little tidbits of information and you add it to this like bizarre thing where like, this is like, do you understand? Okay, do you understand what would happen to me if someone shot and killed my wife? Like, do you have any idea what it would be like for me to try to speak about that? All I do is talk. This is the thing I'm best at in the world. Okay? Very few people can compose themselves and deliver, words into a microphone as well as me. And if that happened to me, I would be a wreck. I could not talk about that like this. Like I could, I certainly wouldn't look like I was trying to look sad. I would collapse every time I tried to speak about it. I start thinking about our kids and whatever. I couldn't talk about that. I had a psychedelic experience, okay? A very heavy one on Ibogaine, okay? Long story I won't get into, but I experienced a thing as if it was like a memory. And in that experience, I lost my wife and I lost my children. And it was like, it's hard to explain, but there was a purpose to it, okay? There was a purpose to this experience. It was like, this is what happens, you stupid, reckless fucking idiot. You stupid fuck, okay? That is a combination of whatever spirit on the other side was guiding me through this thing and my own self, who was also like a participant in this experience. I was sitting on a couch in a sparsely decorated apartment with a television in front of me that was sitting on the fucking ground. And I was looking at my iPhone on Instagram, and I was looking at a picture of my wife and my kids with another guy on Instagram, on my wife's Instagram. And it was the moment I knew for sure I could never get her back. Like, I had lost her. It was my fault, 100% my fault. I had exhausted all of everything that I could have possibly done. It was like I lived this moment, dude. Like, I literally went to a parallel universe that was the future version of my life. And at that moment, I had exhausted every single thing that I could have done to try to win her back. And that was the moment where I knew for sure I could never get them back. I got to actually experience that despair. This is the first time I've been able to even talk about it without collapsing in the middle of it and having to stop talking about it. And it's because I'm actually thinking about something else. When I actually talked through this experience, it was not even fucking real. Okay, I can't talk about it. Her getting murdered, losing her to a violent murder, I could not do it. I don't know how these people look so weird and phony when they're talking about this horrific thing that happened. I don't get it. I'm just talking here, okay? Like, obviously, I'm not saying for sure, I'm not even saying that I even 10% believe it. I'm just like, this is fucking weird, dude. All of this is weird. And then you go, 2018, Charlie's talking to Candace about like how he knows that he's going to be gone. It's like, well, you could read that as he had a plan. He was going to be a martyr for his movement. He's going to martyr himself without actually dying, I don't know what to make of it, dude. It's really weird. Now, we are going to get to the portion of this video where we get into the CIA acknowledging also that there's no way this kid did this alone. And we're going to do that in a second after we watch a video from Prize Picks. Actually, I'm sorry. A moment from our sponsor, Prize Picks. If you want to support the channel, no better way than to sign up with Prize Picks. It's NFL time, and that means it's time for you to join Prize Picks. I don't understand. What's daily fantasy? I'll explain that later. What you need to know right this second is that if you deposit $5 and put it in play, they will guarantee give you a free $50 regardless of whether or not you win with that $5 entry fee. Wait, I deposit $5 and I get $50 back regardless of whether I win. Yes, that's correct. So that'd be a 10x return guaranteed. Yeah, that's correct. So who wouldn't do that? I don't know, man. You tell me. Everybody is doing it. So tell us what else we get aside from $50 free. Well, you get to play the best daily fantasy game on the entire internet. Talk to me like a child and explain to me how to play. Prize Picks could not make this game more simple. You're going to pick which sport you want to play, and then you're going to start picking players that you're going to add to your roster. Then we're going to decide whether they're going to get more or less than the stat line provided by Prize Picks. We're going Shedeur Sanders, and we're going more because we are eternal optimists. Let's say you want to start small and you put $5 in play on your first roster. You can win up to $187.50. But if you're a big baller and you want to put, let's say, $50 in play, you can win up to $1,875. But let's say you are a big wallet gangster and you want to put $500 into a single roster. You can win up to $18,750 if all of your players deliver. Now, we also got some new features coming in with this new football season, and you're going to be able to play the same player up to 3 times with 3 different stat lines if you want. It's already live on Major League Baseball and WNBA. When you go to Prize Picks, you use the link in the description and you sign up and you use promo code JesseOnFire, you are going to get a free $50 once you put $5 in play. Use the link in the description, sign up using promo code JesseOnFire, Put in $5 in play and get your free $50 back. That's a 10x return. You are welcome. I love all of you guys. Let's go. All right, let's get down with Andrew Bustamante, former CIA agent, who says there is no way that the kid killed Charlie Kirk alone. I 100% agree. Let's watch.
I had Rob O'Neill, who was a Navy SEAL who killed Osama bin Laden on last week, on Monday, saying that there were a lot of questions he felt just didn't quite stack up with it. Everything you've seen about the shooter, what happened, the fact it was a single bullet, the way he was able to put together his gun, dismantle his gun, get away, and so on, the weird text messaging with his transitioning boyfriend and so on. What do you make of it all? Do you think there are unanswered questions with this? Does it make sense to you?
Oh, absolutely there are unanswered questions. It doesn't make sense to me completely, and I think that's why there are conspiracy theories that are popping up around the shooting. The problem is that, like so much of what happens in the real world, there are areas that are protected, areas of information that are not available to the public, so the public doesn't get a full picture. You were just talking about the emergence of new media. Part of the unexpected or possibly unproductive side effect of that new media is that we now know more of what we don't know.
Yes.
Whereas in the past, when we didn't know, we didn't even realize we had a gap of information.
What is the stuff, when you look at that shooting, what's the stuff where you, with your former CIA hat on, go, that's a bit weird?
So first of all, the fact that there's really no significant new information since about September 19th, that's fucking weird, man. Right? Like, how is this so significant that we're having national days of silence for Charlie Kirk? How is it so significant that it's making International Media Day after day, but we can't get new information? We still don't know what the motive was. We're having people like the transgender roommate / lover disappear, and nobody's talking to him. And
somebody finally asking the right questions, right? And hey, between you guys and me, hey, just a little secret between us girls, huh, guys? I just reached out to Andrew Bustamante, and I sent him my video that I put out this morning, which I guess would be yesterday when you guys see this. But oh my God, I literally just got a text message putting me and Andrew Bustamante together at this moment, because I sent it to him after he looked at this, and I'm like, dude, I want to talk to him about this, because he's an intelligence agent, a former intelligence agent, and that's where everybody needs to be looking, in my opinion. Assuming that you don't think Charlie's alive, which I can't even believe that I'm actually entertaining that.
Doesn't seem to be a large manhunt.
No, I don't think there's an autopsy report yet. I don't think we've had an autopsy.
Exactly. So this is information that doesn't seem unreasonable to share, and yet it's not being shared. So the question becomes why. There's lots of legitimate reasons why it wouldn't be shared yet, but that's not good enough for us with our current appetite.
From a technical point of view about the shooting itself, for a 22-year-old who's not military trained, to be able to get up on that roof, put together a gun, then dismantle it, fire off one shot with a bolt action rifle that belonged to his grandfather, reportedly, and get away, but to be able to assassinate somebody in that clinical manner, does that seem likely, or is there something we don't know about what this kid was doing before all this?
We look at everything in intelligence through a lens of probability. Anything is a possibility, but what are the probabilities that it played out the way that we're being told? So when I think of his age, and I think about the fact that he grew up in a hunting family, and I think about the fact that he was familiar with that particular weapon, he was familiar with the campus. He had what we call the advantage of area familiarity, area fam. He had all of those benefits that Charlie and Charlie's team did not have. Plus, of course, he had the element of surprise on his side. But when it comes to the technical elements of being able to handle that weapon, I tend to agree more with Rob. It doesn't make sense. Unless he spent hours in premeditation assembling and disassembling his gun, he already had his ingress and his egress route planned. He already knew where he was going to stash the weapon. He had a plan to succeed. His dad is the reason his plan to disappear ultimately didn't succeed. And that was obviously a variable he didn't account for. So is it possible that he prepared to the extent that he needed to prepare to run such an effective operation? Yeah, it's possible, but is it probable that he did it alone? It's not really.
No. very much not likely or probable that he did it alone. And that has been my main beef with this entire story from day one, which is, guys, I'm sorry. Okay. The idea that this guy was wearing one outfit over here, he's wearing another outfit over there, right? It's not two different people. Okay. And it couldn't have been Lance over there. Like, this is the thing, man. Okay. The amount of work that I have done looking into this case with my, dark web my dark web partner, okay, is like unbelievable, man. Okay. There is no possible way a human could have looked into the amount of things that we've looked into in the amount of time that the FBI came out with the official story, where they're like, look, this is what happened. Here's what happened. This guy. And what are you basing that on? Because one kid said that's what happened. Okay. Oh, well, he's admitting that he did it, so that means it's true. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. He thinks he's doing something heroic, probably. I'll take the rap for all of you guys. No reason for everyone to go down. Okay, we have no proof that he actually took the shot. We have no proof that he is not taking the rap for his, little transferee boyfriend who was proficient in marksmanship, who attacked his grandfather with a knife, because his grandfather wouldn't give him the cross-sex hormones. And I mean, like, what are we doing here? Okay, we got Sky Valdez, who predicts Charlie's murder 3 weeks before. We got about 120 other people who put up on the internet, Charlie's going to get killed on the 10th of September. Okay, is this, are we looking at an intelligence operation? I don't know. But Tyler doing this alone seems like literally the least likely scenario. Honestly, I think it might be more likely that Charlie's alive than that Tyler did it by himself.
Really probable that one 22-year-old would be able to figure all of that out.
And to fire one shot and be successful in your mission.
Yeah, arguably, you can see that he hadn't trained for the shot distance, because while he did shoot Charlie in a fatal location, it's unlikely he was aiming for that specific location. So there are certain elements that highlight he was amateur as a professional killer. A Navy SEAL like Rob wouldn't make a mistake like that. Wouldn't see that tumble and not predict it.
Right. I mean, Rob had a lot of questions, but one of which was just the amount of time it took him, like you said, to assemble and disassemble. He said he didn't think he could do it in the time that they believed this boy did it. And it's interesting because the only equivalent kind of story in the last few years where there are even more unanswered questions is the young person who has tried to assassinate Donald Trump.
Absolutely. From
a similar roof, from a similar distance, about whom we seem to know absolutely nothing. I mean, even the guy on the golf course, we know a bit more because he defended himself and everything else. But that original shooter remains just so weird. Like, this kid had no digital footprint, nothing. From a CIA point of view, when you encounter that, where someone tries to assassinate the President of the United States or a very high-profile figure, and when you dig into it, for a young person to have no digital footprint whatsoever, that to me is very, very odd.
Absolutely. There's hidden information there, without a doubt. It's funny, my mind worked very similar to yours, Piers. When I started to research the elements that made up the Charlie Kirk assassination, I immediately was triggered to look back at Thomas Crooks, the one who tried to kill Donald Trump when he was on the campaign in Butler, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
The parallels are very, very powerful, very humbling, right? You're talking about similar age groups. You're talking about high levels of intelligence. You're talking about a level of emotional IQ that made them actually well-liked in their community.
Right.
CIA believes that all...
So, I think Andrew and I are aligned. I'm literally, hey, by the way, guys, while I'm doing it, you guys see this thing shaking here? That's because I'm texting with Bustamante literally right now. So, hopefully, I can get him on and we can have a discussion together, and you guys will get to watch that. That is what I'm trying to do right now. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for hanging out. We'll have much more content coming today and every other day. You guys are the best. Love you guys. Bye-bye.